Once upon a time, long, long ago, for those of you under 20, there was a small village called Wayzata in the burg of Minneapolis in the kingdom of Minnesota. Minneapolis was a cold place, so cold that the waters of the lakes and ponds froze solid. Even inside buildings, huge ponds would turn to ice and wouldn't thaw even in the summer heat. These frozen ponds were difficult to cross, but the villagers discovered a way to navigate this ice, enabling them to get from one side to the other on knives of steel. This spread from town to town until invaders came to conquer the ice, and it was necessary to form armies. Some armies were rich, some were poor, and the poor ones found they couldn't afford to buy the stones for their weapons or protective armor. One poor general hawked his glass eye to buy armor. When he was able to save the funds to get out, he was still a bit short, so he only got the hawk-eed back. Get it? Finally, one of the great conquerors of the time swept down to Minneapolis from that frozen kingdom in the north, Canada. Sir Robert May was a great skater, as they came to be called, because they were like those bugs when the lake wasn't frozen, and also a great leader. When he left his army in Canada, he needed to find one in Minneapolis, for a leader must lead. Now, along the way, he noticed that an uncannily high number of soldiers were losing their teeth in battle, although nothing fatal, so he decided he needed a new skill as a responsible leader. He became a toother. He looked far and wide, east and west, Minneapolis, St. Paul, but the only man's army he found already had a commander, Lord Herb Brooks. These men were training hard to go to the Olympic battle in Sir May's old land. Then it came to him. He had been blessed with wonderful female children from a beautiful wife, and the number of men in battle had increased, and the women had been forced to take up arms, becoming protectors of the home ice while the men were away. So he gathered some girls from high and low, east and west, Minneapolis, St. Paul, and started an army of girls hockey, determined to take them all the way across the great ocean someday to conquer the European hordes. Those are hordes, by the way, not hordes. Anyway, Sir May taught them not to fight with brawn, but with their brains, to become great tacticians and skilled skaters as well as warriors. He did it with a strong hand as well as a warm heart, and he gained their devotion and their love. He called his army the Checkers of Wayzata. But he had to change that. He did not want to limit them to only one village, but to defend the whole kingdom of Minnesota. First, they were confined to skirmishes in their own village, not having the gold to travel long distances. But soon, after many triumphs on the battle ice, the people started to throw coins at them, and not in anger. First, they traveled to the land of cattle, Buffalo, where they brought home the bacon. Okay, all right, not a particularly good metaphor. Then on to Boston, where they threw their own tea party and the competition overboard. And at last they were bound for the great confrontation. The Vikings awaited them. They caught a flying ship first to Russia, where the Cossacks attempted to throw some of their army into the dungeon using treachery. They were ready for the final battle in Helsinki. There they finally met their match. In spite of the deck being stacked against them, they never gave up and finally became the world champions of girls hockey. Sir May and his Checkers returned to their kingdom of Minnesota to polite applause. After all, they were girls. When the boys' team returned from Canada 6 months later, Lord Brooks received the overwhelming cheers of the kingdom. But Sir May was unfazed by this injustice and continued to lead the Checkers for years to come. Finally, recognition came when he was honored by that round table of knights for girls hockey, and he was inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Dr. Bob May, thank you so much for what you have done for us, and I want to welcome you into our Coaches Hall of Fame.
Sir May passed on to our Maker just this year of our Lord, 2014, at the age of 87. As that of any good knight, lord, and leader, his legacy lives on in the lives of the girls, now women, whose lives he touched in the most important way. He taught them how to win and win graciously, live and live honorably, and love unconditionally. All hail Sir Robert May, the Toother, and beloved coach of the Minnesota Checkers. Dr. Robert H. May, June 8, 1927 to July 20th, 2014.
And if you threw a party, invited on our team has learned what it means to win. And I think to win in life, and I really truly believe that.
Excellent game. Really nice game.
Girls belong in hockey as well as boys do. The sports were originated to have fun. And if they're having fun and accomplishing something, then it's right.